If you are going to Disneyland, this is exactly what I'm carrying, and just as important, what I'm not bringing, so I stay light, move fast, and don't get stopped by security. But I hope they're ready for. No. What's going on, guys? Mikey Messina here with Mikey Daily Carry. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm breaking down my Disneyland EDC setup using the Vertx Ghost Sling, and this is a little different because I'm not trying to carry everything. We actually have a dedicated family bag for snacks and kid essentials, so this setup is strictly my personal loadout for the days that I'm going to be there. So first off, let's talk about the bag I'm going to be using. This is the Vertx Ghost Sling 10 liter. I've actually done a review on this. I'll make sure I put that in the description. And for Disneyland, I think this is a sweet spot because it's compact, lightweight, easy to swing to the front in lines, enough space for essentials, and it doesn't feel bulky on rides. And most importantly, it forces me to only carry what I actually need. So let's talk about how I loaded this thing out. First off, just taking a look at the external here, I have this clasp, and this is by Concept EDC. This is just a carabiner, but it also acts as a bottle opener, and I have that on the bottom section here. In addition to that, on the front strap, I have a hero clip. So I'm kind of playing with putting it on here. There's also Molly right down here that I can put it on, but there's also this grab handle right up here that I typically have it on. And this is perfect for those times where I got to go to the restroom or what have you, and I don't want my bag to go on the floor. Boom, I can just hang that on the actual door itself. And that's pretty much it on the exterior of the bag. So let's start moving into the interior. Now, starting off with this front panel here, notice this is an elastic section, okay? See that? This can stretch pretty big. So I can put like water bottles in there, snacks in here if I want to, but I'm going to keep that empty, and you're going to notice that I'm going to keep the bag fairly light because in case, I want to pack some stuff that I buy or whatever it is, I'm going to have space for it. But we are going to have a stroller and all that stuff, so I don't want to overcomplicate things. So opening this up, right here on the front, I have this section up here, which is going to be like my hygienic section, right? So in here, I also have some Advil. I have some liquid IVs that I'm going to be bringing. And then I also have, these are some pretty cool toothbrushes on the go. It's a Colgate Wisp because I don't like it when stuff gets stuck in my teeth. That's why I got that there. And then I'm going to have some gum, right? Keep my breath nice, minty, and fresh. And then that's pretty much what's going to be in that little admin section there. Now, in here, I want to show you guys, I have my Live the Creed EDC Pocket Trauma Kit. And what's cool about this is that I've actually put a Molly attachment on here, so that way it kind of just stays like that. If I need to get access to the insides, boom, I open that up. So I got a snake staff tourniquet right here. I got some nitrile gloves right here, along with a quick clot right behind that. And then right behind that, I have like this little ouchie boo-boo kit that I switch items out periodically. I'm probably going to add a little bit more band-aids on there just in case we get any ouchie boo-boos. That is going to be my first aid for Disneyland. Now, right next to that, I have a Tide pen because you never know when you're going to have stains. I'm going to be rocking like a white Mickey Mouse shirt, and the thing with me and white, we just don't get along. I tend to get stains on it, especially when you have kids. You're going to need something like this Tide pen. So I got that there. I got some nail clippers on here because I like my fingernails clipped. I also have a pen. This is going to be the pen that's dedicated for my backpack, and this is just a Lego lightsaber pen that I actually got from the Lego store here in San Diego. Super cheap. It was only like $5, but I thought it was cool, and it actually writes really nice. Then I got some chapstick right there. Right beneath that, I have a USB-C to USB-C to USB-A cable. And then I also have a power bank, an Anchor power bank right here. This is like a 45 watt, but it powers the Apple Watch along with having this tethered USB-C cable which is going to come in clutch because the iPhone that I have takes USB-C. And then I also have another power bank right next to that. This one right here is the NB10000 Gen 4. So this right here is just a small power bank. It has two USB-C ports right there. You can power it on. What's cool about this is it has an indicator right there, but it also has two RGB USB ports. And this lanyard right here actually acts as a USB-C cable, USB-C to USB-C. So I really like that. I'm going to put that here. Guys, by the way, I'm going to link all this stuff in the description down below. Some may be affiliate links, some may not. There's no extra cost to you if you use those links to purchase whatever you see here that you like. You do help your boy in the channel out, though, so I really appreciate that. Now, right next to that, I have my Rode Wireless Micro, and this is going to be easy to just pop onto my phone because this receiver right here is USB-C, or this transmitter is USB-C, and then these just clip onto my shirt. And there's also there's a clip-on, or there's a magnet that I can use to clip onto there, so that way I can have good audio when I'm at Disneyland. But that's not going to be my only audio source. I'm going to show you guys in a second as well. I also have this wall mount right here, and this right here powers up two USB-Cs and one USB-A right there. So the key to this section here, and the key to Disneyland, is to have power, continuous power, because when it comes to the park itself, a lot of it is app-based. We have the lightning passes, or I think it's lightning passes or a flash pass. I'm not sure. It's been so long since I've been there, guys. But we have those passes that we bought with our tickets. And when we want to reserve a ride, it has to be on your phone. So having continuous power for your phone is an absolute must when you're going to Disneyland. Fire down in the comments down below if you guys have any other Disney tips. But that is what I have in that section here. Do I have anything down here? Nope, that's pretty much it. So I'm going to close this up. Now I want to show you guys right up top. I don't have anything in this section here, but there is a pocket up here. It is felt lined, so if you want to put sunglasses in there, if you want to park your phone in there, or anything delicate, you can put that up there. Don't have anything in there. I am going to now open up this main compartment, and in here, starting up here first, so this right here is like an M-tack organizer. So this actually comes off, it's via Velcro, because this right here is just all loop panel. So this has a hook backing, so I can just put that right back there. As you guys can see, I got some playing cards just in case, we need to kill some time in those long lines. I got some playing cards there. And then in this back pocket, I have a USB-C to USB-C 200 watt cable, or 240 watt cable. So it charges uber fast. And that's what I got in that back pocket there. And then over on this front side, I actually have my source of hydration. This is going to be filled up a lot during my time inside of the park. The kids, my wife, they have their own hydration source. This is going to be mine. So you guys saw the liquid IV. I'll put some of that in here if I need to, just hydrate myself. Because sometimes water itself won't hydrate you enough, but I will put that in here and fill it up periodically, put ice in it, everything like that. Lasts forever. And obviously, go birds, right? I got the Philly edition of the 28 flask Rambler. This is going to be my main camera source for the park. Other than my phone, I'm going to be using the Osmo Nano, DJI Osmo Nano. So the cool thing about this is that I actually have a couple accessories. I like have the necklace, have this thing here where it can just clip on my ball cap, which I'm going to be wearing at the park, where I could just put this piece into there. And so that's going to be cool because it'll just clip on my hat here and I can have that there. But I also have a necklace magnet attachment where it can stick onto my chest. I can stick it onto the MOLLE section of the backpack strap on this Vertx Ghost Sling. This is an ND filter that actually just pops on and off like so. I don't have to screw this weather gasket proof lens off, which I really like, and I can just slide that right over it, change the variability on the ND. It has 1 to 5 stops, which is really good because it tends to get overexposed if you just have it by itself. I'm in the DJI ecosystem and I just have like this. I have the Pocket 3. Came out with a new Pocket 4. I'm not really impressed. Maybe there's gonna be like a Pocket Pro and we'll see if the features are a little better. But this is gonna be my main camera for Disneyland. And then I can also have this while I monitor everything on this LED screen right here. So if I have a family member holding this, or I can just mount this because this is also magnetic. So I'm going to show you here. This is magnetic. So whether I have it on there or if I want to have it like this, it is magnetic. So that's really cool because if you have like steel posts or anything like that, that I just want to boom, stick that onto and then start recording and getting my content in, I could do so because it's that versatile. I can't do that with a DJI Osmo Pocket 3 because it's like a, a handheld gimbal, and this is more versatile. But that is going to be my camera source and my main source of recording content at Disneyland. Now, the microphone that I'm going to be using with this is going to be the DJI Mic 2, which I already have tethered to this. So anytime I have this on, I can turn the mic on, and then on the mic itself, I could just hit record without having to press the button up top or press the button right here on the side, and I'll be good to go. So that's pretty much what I got going on. That's going to be my main camera source for Disneyland. Now, what do I have here? So right up here, I actually have another power bank. Guys, the key is to keep the day alive with multiple sources of power banks. I also have that wall plug that you guys saw where I can recharge all these things if I need to. But this right here has USB-A ports and one USB-C port right there. So that is oriented like so, because if I want to have a cable just sling out of here while I close the bag up and I charge my either camera or phone or whatever it is, I can do that. So that was very intentional of me to do so. Right below that, I would have my camera, and right next to that, I would have my flask. I'm not going to be carrying no iPad or anything like that. I'm not intending on editing videos while I'm at Disneyland. However, after the fact, I would be back at the hotel, and that's pretty much how I have this loaded out. Now, for those of you that know, this does have a quick access pocket down here for a firearm, but you can't carry that stuff. But there is a pocket down here if I want to store some items in there as well. I could do so. I'm not going to do that. So as you guys saw, I did leave some extra space in there because if you've been to Disneyland, you already know you probably going to be leaving with some type of souvenir or just something that you spot there. This does give me room for anything that we pick up at the park, where maybe it's going to be something for my kids. But, we do have a stroller, a family bag, whatnot. Now, what is going to be on my body? On my person is going to be my phone, my keys, my wallet, the necessities, because I don't want to dig for those things in a bag. I just want to have that ready to go. I'm also going to be rocking some Vertx pants that's going to have the pockets that are capable to hold all that gear with no problem. Now, what did I leave out on purpose? Well, I always like reading up on places that I go to, theme parks, events, stuff like that, the do's and don'ts of what you can and cannot bring. So I already talked about no snacks in the bag because we have an intended bag for that. I don't have any super bulky items other than my flask that's going to be in here. I don't have any just in case items. And also, I'm not going to bring any restricted items. The goal is to move fast, stay comfortable, and get through security without any issues. Now, this setup is intentionally minimal. It covers staying hydrated, keeping the day alive in terms of my electronics. That way I can capture content, and also having extra space for anything that I need to buy or add. That's it. I'm going to be there for 2 days, and I don't want to carry more than that, because the more you carry at Disneyland or California Adventures, the more you're going to feel it. And at the end of the day, Disneyland EDC shouldn't slow you down. It should really support your experience. This is what works for me, but I'm curious, what are you bringing to Disneyland the next time you go? You guys are watching Mikey Daily Carry. I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.